Hello and welcome to our channel, a nexus for the inquisitive and perpetually curious. Today, we're diving deep into the ocean specifically, and we're focusing on one of its most, let's say, enigmatic inhabitants, the shark. We're going to try and unlock the incredible sensory universe these apex predators experience. It's often misunderstood. Imagine perceiving your world not just by sight or sound, but through electrical impulses and tiny shifts in water pressure. That's the reality for a shark, and that's what we're here to explore. Now, this audio overview is based on a post originally published by us, the Perpetually Curious, on Facebook. Our mission today really is to pull out the key insights from this fascinating material. It details these remarkable adaptations sharks have developed. We'll kind of trace the journey of a shark hunting from the very first distance signal right up to the final strike, hopefully giving you a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed about these amazing creatures.
Absolutely. And what's great about this source material is, yes, the scientific facts are there and they're precise, but it's also the way it explains these really complex biological things. Very meticulous. It stresses nuance and accuracy, which you absolutely need when you're talking about sensory systems this intricate. It really invites you to appreciate just how subtle nature can be.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Maybe start with something people often wonder about, a potential vulnerability, shark vision. Especially, during that critical moment of a strike, there's this idea that maybe they go blind or they're somehow exposed right when they attack. How does the research clarify that?
That's a really common question and a good starting point. So the material explains that many sharks have this protective third eyelid. It's called the nictitating membrane. Think of it like built-in goggles. It shields the eye from injury, like from struggling prey. But remarkably, it still allows them to maintain limited vision even when it's closed.
Okay, so it's not a total blackout situation for them. But you said many sharks. What about those that don't have this nictitating membrane? The source mentions some big names there.
Exactly. Big names like great whites and makos, they lack that membrane. So their adaptation is different. Just before impact, they actually roll their eyeballs back into their sockets. It protects the eye, but obviously there's a consequence. And what's fascinating is how the source is really precise here. It states, vision is briefly partially obstructed when the eyes roll back.
Briefly or partially obstructed, that's specific. So it's like a momentary trade-off, protect the eye, but accept a brief moment of reduced vision, which suggests they must be incredibly confident in their other senses at that exact moment. And that leads us nicely into how they detect things from much further away, right? Before vision is even the main player.
Precisely. It's a perfect example of them switching between senses, prioritizing different inputs. They're definitely not attacking blind.
So, okay, if their vision might be momentarily compromised at the very end, how do they first find prey? Way out in the distance. Hearing seems to be key here, like a long-range detection system.
Yes, absolutely. Sharks are incredibly attuned to low-frequency sounds. And sound travels really, really efficiently through water, much better than through air. They're especially tuned into the sort of irregular vibrations made by struggling or distressed animals. Think like a fish flapping erratically or an injured seal. Those sounds are like a dinner bell.
A dinner bell that travels a very long way underwater. And paired with hearing, there's that legendary sense of smell, olfaction, also for long-range detection.
Oh, definitely. Their sense of smell is highly developed, and importantly, it's independent of breathing. They have water constantly flowing over their olfactory receptors. Now, the sensitivity can be astonishing. Some species can detect certain substances like blood at concentrations down to parts per million. But, and this is important, the research stresses that thresholds vary by species, odor, and conditions.
Right, so it's not the movie version of one drop of blood attracting sharks from miles and miles away.
Exactly. It's more nuanced. They can detect incredibly faint traces within their environment, which can still be a huge area depending on currents and other factors. That's why the source guides us to be careful with language.
Ah, yes. It specifically suggests saying detection happens from long distances depending on conditions, rather than throwing out numbers like miles away.
Precisely. It keeps the focus on the variability in the actual science, acknowledging how much conditions matter.
It really underlines the careful approach of the source material. Okay. This episode is brought to you by the Perpetually Curious, a platform for the inquisitive and ever curious. So, the shark has picked up a sound, maybe a scent trail, from far off. It's heading in the right direction. As it gets closer, the game changes a bit, right? Another sense starts to play a bigger role. The source talks about the lateral line system, describing it almost like a distant touch. What is that?
That's a great description. Distant touch. The lateral line system is essentially a network of small pores and canals running along the shark's body, usually down the sides. Inside these canals are sensory cells, hair cells basically, that detect minute water movements, pressure changes, and vibrations. So it's picking up the tiny disturbances in the water made by anything moving nearby. A fish swimming, another shark, anything.
So it's feeling the water around it, the flows and eddies, in incredible detail, I imagine. How crucial is this sense for them?
Oh, it's incredibly important, especially, like you said, when visibility is poor, think murky water, or at night. It allows them to track prey movements very accurately, even when they can't see the prey directly. It gives them a sort of 3D map of water movements around them, really vital for close encounters.
Okay, distant hearing and smell, then mid-range distant touch with the lateral line. And then comes the final approach, the close-in targeting. This involves maybe their most unique sense, electroreception.
Yes, this is the one that's truly alien to our own experience.
Yeah.
Electroreception. It relies on specialized organs called the ampullae of Lorenzini. These are tiny jelly-filled pores, often visible as little dots, especially around the snout and head. And their sensitivity is just staggering. They detect weak electric fields as subtle as 5 billionths of a volt per centimeter.
5 billionths. It's hard to even grasp that level of sensitivity. What's generating those fields?
Living things. Basically, any muscle contraction, even a heartbeat, generates a tiny bioelectric field. Sharks can sense this. They can detect a fish hidden under sand just from its breathing or heartbeat. It's incredibly useful, as you'd imagine, in low visibility or for finding hidden prey.
So even if their eyes are rolled back for protection at the last second.
They can still pinpoint the prey using this electrical sense. It's their close quarters targeting system.
Mind-blowing. And the source mentions the hammerhead shark in relation to this sense, right? That distinctive head shape.
Yes. The hammerhead provides a fantastic example of maximizing this sense. That wide, flattened head, the proper term is cephalofoil, isn't just for looks. It spreads those ampullae of Lorenzini over a much wider area. Think of it like widening the beam of a searchlight. It allows them to scan a broader path along the seafloor, making them exceptionally good at finding prey like stingrays buried in the sand. It's a really elegant evolutionary solution.
An incredible advantage. Okay, let's try and bring this all together. It's clearly not just one sense doing all the work. It sounds like a highly coordinated sequence. How does it typically unfold during a hunt?
It really is a symphony of senses working together seamlessly. So the typical sequence, based on the source, might start like this. First, detection from far away, likely through hearing those low-frequency distress sounds and olfaction, picking up faint scent trails on the current. That gets the shark moving in the general direction.
Okay, so it's drawn in from a distance, then what?
As it closes the gap, the lateral line becomes more critical. It uses that distant touch to track the prey's specific movements, the pressure waves it creates in the water. This allows for much finer tracking and adjustment as it approaches.
Right. And for the final, crucial moment.
For the final strike, especially going very close, where visibility is bad, or even if its eyes are protected, electroreception takes over for that pinpoint accuracy, homing in on the bioelectric field of the prey. It's this integration hearing and smell to find, lateral line to track, electroreception to target that makes them such effective predators.
A truly sophisticated multisensory approach. It's far more complex than just smelling blood. If you enjoy thoughtful explorations like this, you can find more on the Perpetually Curious, available on Facebook and YouTube.
And understanding this complexity has broader implications too. These remarkable biological features aren't just about hunting success. They enable sharks to fulfill their vital ecological roles, whether as apex predators at the top of the food chain or mesopredators in the middle. They play a crucial part in maintaining the balance and health of marine ecosystems.
So studying their senses isn't just, fascinating biology for its own sake. It connects to conservation.
Absolutely. Understanding these adaptations, how sharks perceive and interact with their environment, is fundamental for effective conservation. Protecting these vital species requires us to appreciate their biological needs and their ecological importance. It really underlines our responsibility to ensure the health of our oceans, where these animals play such a key role.
That's a really important point to end on. It shifts the perspective from just seeing them as predators to understanding them as integral parts of a complex system. The sensory world of sharks is just astonishingly rich, operating on levels we can barely conceive of. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? To what extent does understanding how other creatures perceive reality help us appreciate the sheer diversity and interconnectedness of life on Earth? And what other subtle signals might be out there in the natural world, ones we haven't even begun to detect yet? Thank you for watching. Visit the Perpetually Curious on Facebook and YouTube for more related content. Share this journey with fellow explorers, and if you enjoyed the video, please support us by subscribing, sharing, liking, and turning on notifications.
Thank you for watching. We invite you to explore our channel, where you will find captivating content across a wide range of topics, from everyday wonders to engaging subjects like science, arts, nature, history, technology, and more. If you enjoyed this episode, we would sincerely appreciate your support. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and turning on the bell for notifications. For those wishing to support us further, you may consider one of the following options. By tapping the Super Thanks button on YouTube, or through Buy Me a Coffee using the link in the description, or by scanning the QR code shown on screen. Your support is truly appreciated. Thank you. Before you go, take a moment to explore the related content here. You might just find your next favorite video. Thank you for watching.